Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight in support of Project Healthy Minds, our partners at Archwell Foundation, and the true leaders in mental health access.
Just as I see in you, the present and the future. And I reiterate that point because oftentimes we speak to young adults about the years ahead, about what you'll do, what you'll have to adopt to fix from previous generations.
The once beloved Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, spent years building this flawless fairy tale image, the picture-perfect wife, the compassionate mother, the modern royal who broke every outdated rule. But how long can a mask stay in place before the cracks show? For years, Meghan fooled the world, smiling sweetly and preaching kindness, while whispers of bullying, control, and even plastic surgery secrets echoed behind palace walls. She wanted everyone to believe she was gentle, selfless, and royal-worthy. But those who've watched closely know you can only fool the world for so long.
Free Epstein, multimillionaire, hedge fund manager, businessman with famous, powerful friends, and also convicted sex offender. Just weeks ago, court documents pertaining to his sex trafficking case were unsealed by a New York court.
And now, the big one, a twist no one saw coming. Because somehow, Meghan's name has been dragged straight into the middle of the Epstein nightmare. Yes, that Epstein case, the one dripping with money, influence, and dark glamour. It had everything. Billionaires, politicians, Hollywood stars, and yes, even royals. And at the center stood a man who could bend the rules of the world to his liking, until it all came crashing down.
An island over a mile away from St. Thomas, the main island. And it's out there and it's isolated. He purchases that, right? Then he owns the jet.
Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire socialite everyone envied. He had the mansions, the jets, the guest lists filled with power. But behind that glittering life hid something rotten, a darkness festering beneath the marble floors. What looked like envy-worthy success was nothing but a disguise for one of the sickest sex trafficking scandals in modern history.
You get off. It's not like a person who's on the island can just say, okay, I'm going to swim to St. Thomas.
On his private island, known to insiders as Pedophile Island, Epstein and his partner Ghislaine Maxwell ran a horrifying operation. Underage girls lured in and silenced. It stunned the world because this was a man who mingled with presidents, princes, and movie stars. He wasn't hiding in alleys. He was sipping champagne with society's elite, and the royals weren't far from reach.
Solicited a minor for prostitution.
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
Somehow, his lawyers had worked out a deal with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
It was more evidence of the fact he was powerful and he could fix what everything came up.
This case was one of the worst failures of the criminal justice.
The devil really does wear two faces. For Epstein, that charming grin finally slipped when years of whispers turned into handcuffs. He was arrested in 2008, but let off easy. Just 13 months in prison for minor charges. And even after that, he didn't disappear. He came back into the glitter with his connections to the rich and powerful, Prince Andrew included. Epstein and Prince Andrew were spotted together far too often. Lavish parties, private events, the kind of circles where questions turn into scandals. And then came that photo in Central Park in 2010. A casual stroll, a simple day out, except the world already knew Epstein was a convicted sex offender. What was a royal doing beside him? The photo of the Queen's favorite son with his arm around a 17-year-old girl named Virginia Giuffre shattered every illusion of royal innocence. Virginia claimed Prince Andrew had been sweating profusely while dancing with her that night. And what did he say? He couldn't sweat. Yes, you heard that right. He denied ever meeting her and used the most bizarre excuse royal PR had ever heard. But karma doesn't forget. By 2019, Epstein was back on trial for sex trafficking, this time on federal charges. And a month later, he was found dead in his cell. The world split in two: those who believed he'd taken his own life, and those convinced he'd been silenced. Either way, the empire he'd built crumbled, dragging down every name tied to him, including Prince Andrew. Trying to save his reputation, Andrew sat for that infamous BBC interview. Disastrous doesn't even begin to cover it. He came off as arrogant, cold, and utterly out of touch. The Guardian called it a catastrophic error. His reputation collapsed overnight. He stepped back from royal duties, then quietly settled Virginia's lawsuit in 2022 for millions of pounds, without admitting guilt. Soon after, King Charles stripped him of his titles: Prince, Duke of York, Earl of Inverness. Everything gone. He was banished from royal privilege and his Windsor home. The mighty had fallen. And just when the dust was settling, another name rose from the ashes of this disgrace: Ghislaine Maxwell. The woman who once floated through London and New York's elite circles now sits behind bars for 20 years, a daddy's girl turned criminal queen. Even from her cell, she hasn't stopped talking, and this time, she dragged someone unexpected into the conversation: Meghan Markle. Born into British high society, Ghislaine was Robert Maxwell's precious daughter, spoiled, admired, and untouchable. Her father gave her power, money, and a spotlight. She mingled with Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, the royals, and anyone who mattered. But behind the parties and pearls was a trail of broken people. When her father died suspiciously on his yacht, Lady Ghislaine, something snapped. Soon after, she attached herself to Epstein, and the nightmare began. She helped recruit and groom young girls for his pleasure, some as young as 14. Court documents revealed she coached them, befriended them, and delivered them to a monster. Was she his accomplice or another victim? We may never know, but the jury didn't buy her innocence. In 2022, she was found guilty on multiple counts of sex trafficking and conspiracy. Her glamorous life replaced by concrete walls and cold regret. And then, in 2025, she was moved to a lower security prison camp in Texas, where she found a new hobby: talking. Talking about everything and everyone, including Meghan Markle. That's right. The disgraced socialite name-dropped the Duchess herself, hinting at a life before the spotlight Meghan never wanted the world to see. According to Ghislaine, Meghan's past isn't as squeaky clean as her Netflix narratives. She claimed to know of Meghan's connections long before royal life, connections that tie her to people Epstein knew. Could it be true? Or is Maxwell grasping for attention behind bars? Either way, her words landed like a bombshell. Meghan has always painted herself as the woman who rose from struggle to royalty, a humanitarian, a voice for women, a fighter for freedom. She's known for her carefully crafted appearances, for turning every moment into a statement of strength and style. But Maxwell's accusations threaten to tear that portrait to shreds. Because if what she implies is true, the People's Princess 2.0 may have a shadowed chapter she never wanted opened. The rumors began with one document, a so-called CV that Maxwell claims to have seen, allegedly linking Meghan to events and people best left unmentioned. Whispers say it proves Meghan knows more than she's letting on. Suddenly, her perfect brand, the podcasts, the charities, the photo ops with teary-eyed women, looks like a carefully drawn curtain. And what's behind it might be messier than we ever imagined. Of course, her fans call this another smear campaign. They say the British press and jealous aristocrats want to see her crumble. But others are starting to connect dots they'd ignored before. How was she so familiar with certain power players so early in her career? How did she navigate Hollywood's dark corridors so smoothly? Is it possible she saw more than she'll ever admit? What's louder than the rumors is Meghan's silence. And that's what's really making people talk. Because the Duchess never stays quiet. She's famous for her interviews, her documentary, her ability to control the narrative before it controls her. Yet this time, no press statement, no cryptic Instagram quotes, nothing. Not a word. It's as if the castle walls have gone up and she's hiding behind them. People are wondering, why? If it's a lie, why not speak up? There's no smoke without fire, they say. Could Maxwell actually be telling a sliver of truth? And if she is, what does that mean for the woman who built an empire on inspirational quotes and cherry red raspberry jam? Ah yes, the jam. Her latest business venture, mocked mercilessly for being too runny to be jam and technically a spread. The same week she was criticized for that sticky PR fiasco is when Maxwell's claims emerged. Coincidence? Or a perfect storm of karma and timing? Because while Meghan was busy posting pictures of sunlit picnics and smiling jars, someone else was whispering her name from a prison cell. Maxwell's comments paint a picture of Meghan not as the victim, but as a spectator in a world most would never believe she was part of. She claims Meghan once crossed paths with certain figures linked to Epstein and Prince Andrew. Some even speculate she knew Virginia Giuffre in passing. Is that possible? Or is Maxwell simply dragging everyone down with her, using Meghan's name as a ticket to stay relevant? Whichever it is, the damage is done. Meghan's supporters are rattled. Her critics are celebrating. Because this is no longer about jam recipes and podcasts. This is about reputation, and royal reputation never dies quietly. If there's truth to these claims, Meghan's modern-day princess story might be cracking from within. The press has a new nickname for her now, the Silent Duchess. The woman who once had a comeback for everything now refuses to speak. Maybe she's waiting for the storm to pass. Maybe her lawyers have warned her to stay quiet. Or maybe, just maybe, there's something she doesn't want to reignite. Because we've seen this pattern before. The moment someone gets too close to royal truth, doors shut, phones go silent, and statements get delayed. And yet, the world keeps talking. The rumor mill keeps spinning. Did Meghan really believe the world would never find out about her life before the spotlight? Did she think her charitable smile could erase everything that came before? Everyone looks so unhappy these days, apart from Meghan herself. That photo of her smiling at the event, was it pride? Or was it relief that someone else was under fire for once? Some say she looked pleased, as if she finally got what she wanted. A duchess who rose from Hollywood obscurity to royal luxury now finds her name entangled with the darkest corners of high society. Whether this mysterious Maxwell CV exists or not, its timing is nothing short of explosive. Is Ghislaine just desperate for attention, dragging another royal name through the mud to stay relevant? Or has Meghan's long-buried past finally come back to haunt her? For years, Meghan controlled her own story. Every photo, every tear, every truth told on her terms. But now, her silence might be saying more than any interview ever could. Because in the royal world, secrets have a way of clawing their way to the surface. And if this one's true, the fairy tale might already be cracking. So here we are again, another royal scandal, another tearful duchess, another bombshell from behind bars. Only time will tell whether Meghan Markle is the victim of another smear campaign, or whether Ghislaine Maxwell, sitting in her prison cell, just cracked the royal facade wide open. Because one thing about royal secrets, they never stay buried forever. every time someone tries to silence a rumor, another one bursts out louder than before. Meghan's silence has turned into its own kind of noise, echoing through tabloids, gossip columns, and late-night talk shows. People are dissecting her every move, her every look, trying to read between the lines of that carefully composed smile. And maybe that's what frightens her the most. Not what's been said, but what's still coming. Because if Ghislaine really has something, if that alleged document ever sees daylight, it won't just shake Meghan's image. It will blow the roof off everything she's built since leaving the palace. Her empire of influence, her brand, her authentic lifestyle, all of it could crumble in seconds. But if this is all a fabrication, a desperate attempt from a fallen socialite craving relevance, then Meghan's silence might be the smartest move she's ever made. Let the noise burn itself out while she watches quietly from the sidelines. Either way, the world can't look away. Because when it comes to the Duchess of Sussex, every whisper feels like the start of another storm. And the next headline could change everything. Change everything.